Now I'm just putting in some extra storage here with a couple of kitchen cabinets into the workshop, and I thought I might share some just basic DIY ideas with you and for people that aren't in the know. So just to start with, just very, very basic stuff here. When you buy a box of screws or you're looking at screws for any particular job, you'll see two numbers on it. The first relates to the size of the head, which in this case with this box is a 5x60. So you take one out. So it's 5x60, and what that relates to is the head size. It's 10 millimeters across, and it's measured actually for the size on the box from the outside of the head to the center, which is the radius. So that's 5 mil, the total head is 10. The type of head that's on that is a posi type slot that you'll have on that. The length in this case is 60, so that's where it gets its size from, 5x60. Now, that's obviously too long for what I'm doing here, it's just for demonstration purposes. So, we've standard kitchen cabinets are normally 18 millimeters in thickness. When two go together, you have a total of 36. So the screw size for that will normally be a 4 on top there, 4 head, which will actually be 8, 4 to the center, posi head again, or posi slot, 30 millimeters in length, and the 30 mil screw will go in here. Now it's always a good idea in practice in cabinetry to use a pilot bit. So I've got a pilot bit here, and it's a 3 millimeter bit. 3.5 is fine also as a pilot bit for posi drive screws. What I've done with this is I put a bit of masking tape on it. That distance there is exactly the thickness of one panel, which is 18 mil. Put a bit of masking tape. The masking tape is put on there to actually determine the depth. So when I'm drilling, I'll drill a hole, and I'll stop when I reach the masking tape depth, so that I'm not going into the second panel. If you drill into the second panel with a pilot bit, you won't get the screw to purchase to actually give you a proper connection. So it's important that you don't go through the second panel. Pilot bits, it's quick, it's easy, it's efficient, and it allows you to start the screws easily without having to try and hold them if you don't use the pilot hold. So it's a standard practice that I would use all the time when I'm putting carcasses together. Regardless of what I'm putting together, I'm just an advocate of a pilot hole. It allows you to start the screw quite easily. There's no effort or pressure. There's no effort or pressure on the carcass, on the screw itself in relation to torque, which is the twist and pressure that's on it. And when it screws through, the head will pull straight into the panel without coming out the back, and you'll get a nice firm fix. That's what you require. So it's a matter of just screwing in the rest of the screws there to actually give me the full connection. I've screwed the panels together there, clamped them together there with a couple of clamps just to keep them flush on front before I drive the screws in. So this one is slightly out of sync here. So I'll just pull that forward, and I'm just going to hold it by hand in this case, and the screw pulls through, get a nice flush finish. Screw's gone in, good purchase. You know by the feel and by the sound of the actual drill and the screw that it's got a good purchase. So it's just a matter of do the other ones there, drive them home, and that will give me a good fix and ready to get to the next stage. So just a couple of small points on drills, just from the point of view of the shanks or the tips that we have here. That's a bit holder, and that's a posi drive bit. That's suitable for the larger screws, or from 4 up to size 5, I suppose, and then you can get a smaller tip to fit in there also. So for putting in the tip, again geared towards DIYers, you put the tip into the screwdriver, put into a forward motion and just hold tight. To release, put it into reverse, hold, and just do likewise. So when you're tightened like that, that's all is to the screwdriver there. So that much done there. I'm now ready to put on the bases, and I'll show you a little couple of techniques that I use for putting on the bases there.